Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is Shweta Pathak, founder, Akarshan Gems and Jewelry.
Welcome to Ideas Fest 2020, Shweta. It's a pleasure having you here. You have been chosen as one of India's inspirational leaders, as a great Indian entrepreneur. You're redefining the industry. Let me just start with a quick brief on you, and then we will straight away start with your perspectives.
Sure.
Shweta Pathak is a dreamer. She shifted her career from IT to raising a luxury jewelry brand, Akarshan Gems and Jewelry. Her formal education includes BE Computer Science, MBA from Symbiosis Pune, and an executive MBA from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, New Delhi. Having worked
Yes.
in the corporate sector for 8 years, she took a paradigm shift in her career because of her a collection of natural gemstones and fancy colored diamonds that you shifted to. Shweta persuaded gemology from Jayashree Panjikar, diamond grading, and various other courses in the field of gems and jewelry from GIA India. She explored through various national and international markets by visiting mines, trading centers, national and international shows in her ardent to learn more in quench to raise a luxury brand called Akarshan, the divine power of attraction. And what an achievement, because Akarshan has become one of the best jewelry brands in niche category, thanks to your great passion, overall interest in the industry, and you are a young leader who's redefining the industry. Shweta,
Thank you.
talk about these tough times that we are all going through because of the global pandemic COVID. How
I
important
would
is
say,
it?
Abhimanyu, I started Akarshan in 2014 properly. Like 2012, I left my IT career. 2 years I took to study the market, to understand the integrity of the market. And 2014, I started up with my proper studio where I call Akarshan as a luxury brand, where I was standing in front of a lot of brands in India, which are mostly retail brands. There are very few luxury brands, and there are very few brands which are able to distinguish themselves from others in India. If you say overall in India, the jewelry market is a retail market. It is
That's
not a designer dream, it is not a designer paradigm. It is
right.
mostly a retail segment. In that, trying to bring in a change, there are few designers like me who are trying to bring in a difference where we are saying we are making jewelry which is wearable, which is a piece of art, and which is not something you would say is a kind of a item to retail. It is an item to adorn.
Mhm.
So we are trying to bring that change, and that's why we call it as a luxury segment, because luxury is something which you adorn, you aspire, you want to have that one piece from that particular brand because you feel that you deserve it. So that's the kind of difference I want to bring into the jewelry industry segment. And as you said, keep 2014. Now then we had demonetization, then we had GST, then we had a strike for all the jewelers for around 50 days, and now this Corona. Things had never been easy.
Yeah, markets have been very tough for everybody, but most
Yeah,
industries, for a few maybe who are, gladly continuing with the business because of the situation. There are certain industries, and I hope and wish the best for them. God blesses them during this pandemic also. But 80% of the industries are very badly hit. Uh,
it is.
and retail may be one of them as well. So are we actually, because our business functions on how all others are doing. So we are also
Exactly.
to a lot of extent. So tell me something. In this situation, what what becomes your leadership strategy? How do you connect to your consumers and generate trust? How do you connect with your employees and generate trust? What do you really do to keep everything afloat?
Actually, trust me on this. Even we as a leader at times fails in a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, I think, like, sometimes it happens that we have to keep the trust of the employees, but sometimes because employees are not keeping those, like hygiene standards or those social distancing, so sometimes they become threat to us. like my staff, I gave leave to few of them who had a wedding in their family. I said, "Ki, because you are under so much social, like, exposure, that getting corona and getting corona infected is kind of chain, which we cannot control if we are not maintaining those social distancing parameters. So sometimes we even get into trouble that how to exactly maintain that kind of, because we get into dilemma, and then we have to ask our employees, okay, fine, take a leave for some times. If you are not feeling well, take a leave for some time, because we cannot get ourselves into the exposure because our family are in line with that. So it is a tough time where a lot of measures has been taken. Sometimes salaries are being cut. Sometimes we go into lean model strategies, thinking that how to survive ourselves in this situation. Because as we survive, we have to take a lot of parameters. Sometimes we have a philanthropy approach where we think of everyone. Sometimes we have the thinking for sustainability, where we think about the business first, because if the business thrive, then we can no, as the time gets over, we can get them back. But for time being, we might have to cut them down. So it's all the business strategies which works time to time, depending on the market we are sitting into, depending on the market we are catering to. And because of the corona pandemic time, all the industries are being hit badly. Market is, as it is in the luxury segment, like if you would see the entire world, each and every luxury product has been hit badly. Only China is doing able to do good. Even Europe market is being hit badly. US market is being hit badly. We would have not been talking like this. We would have been, getting this award in Bombay or London if this would have not happened.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so the whole plan of my expansion plan, whatever plans I had for myself and Akarshan, again has come down to a level where we again has to maintain the sustainability first, where we have to think how to continue being in the market, how to continue being into the business, so that we might grow as things again goes back to normal. But for time being, sustainability is the key.
Okay, enough of this gloomy talks of COVID and all that. Concentrate a little bit on. Okay, now you're a very interesting personality. Shift from an IT to a luxury niche jewelry. How did that transformation happen?
Actually, I had been a nerd in my school days. I was only into my studies and a very focused person into like maths and biology. My mother wanted me to be a doctor, but I had a very good no maths like as a subject. I was a very good math student. So I never thought about anything much in my life. I just kept on going with the flow. So when I was working, I got married, then I had my daughter. So after my daughter, my family, which is a typical a very conservative family, they had problem me in my corporate world, balancing the work and life and everything and giving time to my daughter. So my daughter didn't started speaking and walking for 1 year till she turned one. So my
Mhm.
parents got worried and they asked me, Shweta, she has not started walking or talking and doing anything. I said, okay, fine, let me take a break from my career. So I took a break from my career, and then I did executive MBA, meanwhile, teaching the basics. Again, I tried to go back to my job. Again, my parents and my family had issues of me balancing between my job and my career and my child. So they said, what if you quit your job? I said, what I'm going to do? Then my father had this collection of gemstones, and he is the first person who introduced me to natural fancy color diamonds.
Okay.
So we have a spiritual organization. So my parents mostly used in a very different perspective. But I said, no, I'm a very normal person. I can create beautiful, jewelry from it. I know they are used for healing. I know there are a lot of good advantages of the gemstones being used in India, but I see as a piece of adornment. So for me, jewelry had to be a piece of adornment. So I use these natural fancy color diamonds. In India, nobody knew about natural fancy color diamonds. So that became my niche segment. I did a collection with velvet case and natural fancy color diamonds. And then I was being called by 2, 3 more websites in which I did designer diamond jewelry. In one, I did luxury. I did the natural gemstone jewelry. I was awarded as the top 7 jewelry designer in India in 2016. So I was among Farah Ali Khan, I was among Yash Agarwal, Ghana Singh, and all those Meena Wala who won that. They're in the top designer segment. So my industry is being very kind to me. They are appreciating my work. They are seeing that I'm trying to bring in the hard work into the industry.
The industry has been
So
kind. Consumers have been kind to you because your work speaks for itself, isn't it? Your work.
I think still I have to break through the segment much more. I'm trying to create that niche. Again, I do have my share of difficulties to survive. It is not that everything comes very easy. Yeah,
I
so everyone has their own share of difficulties. I'm not able to hear you, Abhimanyu.
think everybody is going through that trouble time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it is not that things just came to me. It didn't came very easy to me. I had to really work very hard. And you know what? I asked like everyone has a story. So I said even I started my first studio from a garage, and that was my friend's Dadaji's house garage from where I started my studio with because I didn't know what exactly future has for me. I just wanted to do something different. I had this in my mind that I would not dilute myself because when I see Harry Winston, when I see Tiffany, when I see Van Cleef Arpels, and I see 100 years of Indian legacy of jewelry industry in India, I say why we don't even have one brand which is going to the high streets internationally.
Absolutely.
Then we have the story of Nirav Modi coming in. He
So
was another person who tried, yeah,
no, go ahead. Go
who
ahead.
tried to, yeah. So Nirav Modi also tried to do what I'm trying to do, but he was little in hurry. So because of that hurry, he took some steps which were not very ethical or didn't fit into the like the right parameters. But his dream is the kind of dream I also carry for myself. I really love the way Nirav Modi got his piece in Christie's. I
Mhm.
really love the way he was, creating that niche segment, which actually is the need for the day when Indian brand goes internationally and stands in those high streets. When
Okay.
I went to London, I attended this IGL, and then me, Sumesh, who is the owner of Aro Jewelry, and Shashidi, whose wife, we went to like one of the good Joykulas jewelers. Again, we had to go to the those no lower streets to find an Indian jewelry brand. I didn't find an Indian jewelry brand standing in the high street of London. Though we have such art, we have such skill, we have everything in India, but
Mhm.
not even a single brand is able to go there. So
Absolutely.
still that becomes my niche segment, which I want to target over the time, and I'll be working on that.
We are very sure about that. My last question to you: say three winning strategies for Shweta Pathak and Atishan Gems and Jewelries post the COVID. Thinking that okay, December probably we finish COVID, though it will not. But hypothetically, what
Mhm.
are the strategies post that? Yeah,
Yeah. So see,
everybody.
I
Yeah.
have been approached by Rob Report. So Rob Report wanted to put my jewelry in the best of the best segment in no in the October only. But because of the COVID, I kept my hands little tight and I said no, it would not be possible. But when I checked on the Rob Report in October, so they have wanted to put my jewelry with Van Cleef Arpels and Tiffany and Harry Winston, like being featured in that particular magazine in Bulgari.
If Rob
Yeah.
Report is approaching you for featuring with the best, so you've already gone to that level. But apart from
Yeah.
that, strategies, yeah.
So I now have planned for the December edition of Rob Report, and I am already online with few of the portals. I'm trying to get into more international platforms where I can put my jewelry among the international designers. Its only thing is that in India there are a lot of difficulties. We have difficulty exporting our products. We have difficulty if I had been into any other segment, delivering shipping outside India would have been easy.
Okay.
Jewelry, there are a lot of duties. Once we had an order from Singapore, then we realized that there is 21% entry tax. And trust me, it sometimes customer is not ready, even we are not aware about those norms and laws. So there are a lot of things I'm doing one step at a time, trying to explore my market internationally as well, nationally always reaching to the right people. We were in the luxury festival in India, which happened back with essentially. So we are not putting our products everywhere. We're not diluting ourselves. We are very focused and strategizing on how exactly to grow Akarshan as a luxury brand, maybe one step at a time. We are not in a hurry, but eventually we'll be there only. We won't dilute ourselves for anything.
these tough times, how are you generating trust with your consumers and your customers?
Actually, I'm blessed that my customer never leaves me. I get continuous orders, yeah. So I never approached anyone. I never did a lot of like marketing or publicity so far. Now I'll be doing some promotional events. Definitely, I want to reach out to most, like, more consumers now. I want to reach out to more space. But otherwise, I have been lucky that I never had to ask for work. Work came to me.
So you have been God blessed anyway. So you're not in any kind of trouble any which way. So it's not even a discussion we are having. You're God blessed. Your business is going fine, and we hope and pray the best for you. May
Yeah.
you rise and shine and be with us. It's,
Yeah.
uh, it's
But only thing that I'm trying to make a difference here is that I want to command price. Like, the way Manish Malhotra and Sabyasachi does ki,
for the years with your branding, exercising.
yeah,
That will only happen with that. Um, I'm sure with time you will be labeled along with those guys. We wish
yes.
you very, very best for this.
India is a tough market because Indian people jewelry is like breakup.
Yeah.
They don't consider as a piece of art. They don't see the hard work which goes in. They don't see our artisans' work. They don't see that we are trying to no, we are going to save our art. We are just equally important. And this jewelry you're gonna like wear, adorn, give it to next generation. Manish Malhotra lehenga, you could just wear it for twice. So again, this change, this thinking, change in thinking has to bring in, and jewelry designers has to get this due place in India.
Okay. Absolutely. It was lovely talking to you. So, for the viewers, Shweta has been chosen as one of the great Indian entrepreneurs by WCRC Leaders. Is been chosen on research of work that Shweta has been doing for the few years. You've heard a story that she left a corporate career after a kid, and made a very successful brand with her hard work, with her dedication, with her leadership skills. And truly, that has been the agenda of Ideas Fest. How, Shweta, actually leave the COVID time. You have been a fighter that, you had to leave your job as, after the birth of your child. Then you made a very successful brand. And that's exactly the philosophy of a great Indian entrepreneur. We salute that spirit of a great Indian entrepreneur. And we are very glad that our research team at iBrand 360 has chosen you as a great Indian entrepreneur. Thanks a lot for talking to us. And
Thank
wish
you so much.
you the very best, Shweta, in all your endeavors.
Our next set of awards is for the inspirational leaders who have led from the front and elevated their brands in the industry and the region. Next up, we have Miss Shweta Pathak, scaling new heights, expensive jewelry that has carved a massive niche. Shweta Pathak of Akarshan Gems and Jewels has positioned creativity and uniqueness as the center point of success. Congratulations, ma'am.
Selected as India's Inspirational Brand 2020, Akarshan Gems and Jewelry is keen on crafting a niche with its classic and contemporary masterpieces. The big idea of business is to keep the niche of luxury by creating limited pieces, making people aspire to earn the status by owning a piece from Akarshan.